Could you imagine if I started every video like, what's up, motherfuckers? Like, what if I was really aggressive and really in your face? Would you guys still subscribe? What's up, everybody? My name is Ashley, and the first horror movie to make me sleep with the lights on was The Grudge. Anyways, I watched Suspiria finally, and I truly loved that movie. I wanted a movie to make my skin crawl. I love to be disturbed. If you guys didn't know, Suspiria it's a remake, but the director said it was more of a cover of the original movie because it was so different. However, Suspiria came out on November 2nd, 2018, and I have been waiting every single day since that movie came out to watch it. My cheap ass does not like to go to the theater. I can't sit through a 2-hour movie without falling asleep. I need a lot of snacks, and those are expensive. You know, they might check my bag when I try to sneak a pizza in. It's happened. Suspiria is a supernatural horror fantasy movie, which is right up my alley. This movie is starring Dakota Johnson, which she's pretty comfortable with being nude after 50 Shades, so this was a perfect role for her. Tilda Swinton, who fucking blew my mind in this movie. If you guys hear like a noise in the background, that's just Marcel playing Xbox. I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry about that. I didn't mean to keep hitting.
This movie also stars Chloe Grace Moretz, who wanted to maintain an anonymity during the filming of this movie and when this movie came out. She did a great job in this film. She was very, her German was spot on. It was amazing. And also Mia Goth. This is my first movie actually seeing Mia Goth in a movie, and I was blown away by her acting. It was great. This movie has a runtime of 2 hours and 26 minutes. I know, you guys. I know. But it did get a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Please wait to the end of this video to see what I rated this movie. I don't know if you can hear this music, but this is what I wanted in this movie. I wanted this music somewhere in the movie, but it was not present in the movie. I'm gonna get copyrighted. I have the original soundtrack downloaded. I have had it for a while. I love it. I love progressive rock music. Tool is my favorite band, so obviously I would love music like that. Go Goblin. So let's get on with the reaction. I know that was kind of long-winded. What I am going to do through this review reaction is I'm going to give you a brief outline and my thoughts of what I thought about the movie. I'm not going to get into anything in depth. I do suggest, if you want a more in-depth review of this movie, to go check out Found Flicks. That's what I did after I watched this movie. I went and watched the Found Flicks Ending Explained, and it really cleared up a lot for me. I will talk more about that after a while. So, let's get into the reaction. We are going to watch Suspiria tonight. In my last video, I got a comment saying, "Oh, you're watching this movie with the lights on." Listen, madam, my good madam, if I didn't have my lights on, you wouldn't be able to see me. I'm not lying. I film on my phone. Would you like to sit through 20 minutes of this? I didn't think so. Anyways, today we have some pretty serious mood lighting. What do you guys think? I can't tell you guys how excited I am for this movie right now. This is a movie that really has piqued my attention, and I'm ready. Whoa, it's so retro! I love it already. Oh my god. I know this whole opening sequence is supposed to, Chloe Grace Moretz, she wanted to keep anonymity. I cannot pronounce, it's Act 1, and they really changed this movie up. Wow. I am so impressed. Already, it's like a minute and 18 seconds in. She is such a beauty. No matter what she does, she's so beautiful. She will always be hit girl to me, though. If I didn't know that was her to begin with, I wouldn't assume that was just her character, Chloe. I'm very fascinated by this. This is amazing. What's in the bag? So my only issue right now is I don't have subtitles. I'm annoyed. If there is subtitles, because we don't know, because there is none. This will definitely be a movie that I'm going to have to watch like maybe 2 or 3 times to understand it in full because it took me like 3 days to get 3/4 of the way through the first one. It was really good, but it was really hard to keep my attention. This movie, I'm sure that I'm going to mention this in like my review at the end, has an amazing cast. Chloe Grace Moretz, Dakota Johnson, Mia Goth, Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton was the bald lady in Doctor Strange. Like, she is so versatile. She plays 3 roles in this movie. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. This movie is... That's her! She's the doctor! I guarantee I can tell by the eyes. BRB. I'm gonna do a quick Google search. So yeah, she's credited to be the doctor, and I guarantee, because that looks... I can't tell because there's no subtitles! This is not going to take away on my feeling of this movie. However, in my search for the cast of this movie, I read that Dario D'Argentino, the original director and filmographer of this movie, did not like this remake. So we'll see what happens. Already, this is nothing like the first movie whatsoever. However, this is incredibly interesting. I think that they're doing a really good job at like setting the tone because these shots and these scenes really make you feel unsettled and uncomfortable. I like it. The school did a really good job at like resembling the school from the first one until it panned over and like she actually went in the door. This movie has phenomenal camera work. Oh my god. It's almost embodying like a 70s horror movie with like new time graphics. It's very, very appealing. The scene where you see Dakota Johnson's character first dance, she's asked to dance without music, and that scene is phenomenal for making you feel like the emotion and intensity with just hearing her breathe. Like, there's nothing other than the sound of her feet and breathing, and it's incredible. I don't mean to be like a camera work fucking fangirl, but my goodness, just the setting of this, like, there's a mirror, so obviously they're gonna use the mirror as it's fantastic. Oh my god, this movie is already way surpassing any thought that I had about it. Love it. Alright, now we're in Act 2, we're 20 minutes into the film. It's a 2-hour movie, but it feels like it's going by rather quick. 2.5-hour movie, I should say. Another one of the fantastic things about this movie is everything is a dynamic scene. Like, there's rarely ever things that are still. Like, people are always moving, something is always moving, and if something is not moving, there's always a close-up, tight shot on what you're supposed to be focusing on. The characters are just so well cast. Okay, so this scene right here, I don't know what's going to happen, but I watched a behind the scenes on how they made the prosthetics for this scene, and it's incredible. Yeah, this movie really, I have goosebumps watching this. This movie has such a great, like, premise to where it's, wow. Oh my goodness. The effects in this movie are incredible. Yep, this part right here with the jaw. I watched how they made the prosthetic for the jaw, and that was really cool. And with her arm, she had a green screen arm so that, like, they could just make a fake prosthetic arm to throw around with her. This is incredibly done. I'm very impressed. This scene is both, like, so beautiful, but so grotesque. Oh my god. So grotesque at the same time. Like, my skin is like crawling watching this. This is beautiful. This is what I needed. I'm so impressed. Wow. I'm pretty okay with watching this with no subs and just kind of like, oh, not like guessing what's going on, because I know the like premise of the movie, but this will give me a chance that when I watch it again with subs to like, oh, well, this meant this, or this meant this, you know? Like, I don't know for sure, but like, it'll all get cleared up for me. Very cool. This movie is definitely not sparing on the effects. It's very... Okay, I'm gonna say it's about an... In my books, I would say about a 6.5 out of 10 on the... 7 out of 10 on the gory scale. Keep in mind that Cannibal Holocaust and the Green Inferno are two of my, like, high-rated movies, so violence doesn't faze me as much as it would faze you guys, probably. Once again, like, the camera angles are just phenomenal. They are just something that you wouldn't expect from, like, a mainstream horror movie. Like, this is the embodiment of, like, uncomfortability. Also, like, in certain scenes, they, like, do a really close, tight shot to the face that really conveys the emotion of the scene, and it really adds something here. For some reason, Mia Goth's character, Sarah, in this movie reminds me of Linda Blair in The Exorcist 2. Anyone else agree? No? Just me? Cool. This movie really screams girl power. Like, we are women, we are free. We are women and we have a voice. Just about an hour in, you're seeing what lives beneath the dance school. That was fucking cool. Even though at times some of the scenes are kind of dull, the camera work really pulls you in and like makes you focus on what's going on, even though it may seem like it's a boring scene. I think it's really good. This scene with the mirrors where she's trying to like count the steps and find out where she needs to go, it's giving me anxiety. I feel like a jump scare is gonna happen. So one thing about Tilda Swinton's character as the Doctor, the special effects are really good, but as Marcel pointed out, the bottom lip doesn't move with what she's pronouncing. Well, he's pronouncing. So like when there's a W, you don't see the "wah," you just see a like yeah, like it's really good, but it's also that and the voice gives it away, because me knowing that it was her as a character, it's just me seeing Tilda Swinton as an old man. I don't know.
Patricia?
Yeah, that's... Oh my goodness! Now she looks like Linda Blair in The Exorcist 1!
What's going on? Is that the girl from the beginning?
Yeah. These are all the ones that go missing, I think. I don't know. Wow. Wow. Once again, the effects are phenomenal. That bone just came right out of her leg. That dance sequence was 11 out of 10. That was so captivating. Wow. That was the most unexpected death of the whole movie. What the fuck? This end sequence is very gory. Is very, very gory. Marcel does not feel well. We are watching and he is not feeling well. This is some shit. This end sequence is also very, like, surreal and, like, super dramatic. Like, you're just kind of like, why the fuck is the camera work like this? Why are they getting, like, testimonials? I don't know. I don't know. Guys, the end of this movie looks like a fucking found footage snuff film. I'm not even lying to you. It looks like a fucking snuff film. Oh my god. This end sequence, it's losing...
Fuck am I watching?
Yeah, it's losing points here for me, this end sequence. They could have made it This whole movie was great until the end sequence. I mean, it's good, but the camera work just makes it feel cheap. And the CGI was a little cheap. So final thoughts. I really enjoyed that movie. I think it was a little bit too long. If I would have saw that in theaters, I would not have been a very happy bladder woman. My bladder is not very happy right now, even though I could have paused it when peeing time. But I just think that the end sequence was a little too hard on the eyes to watch. The epilogue was very good. I don't think that the movie would have been as good as it was if it didn't end with the epilogue. So, I'm gonna wrap this up. Tomorrow, I'm gonna let this movie sink into my thoughts for the night. When I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to watch the end sequence of the other movie, so the first one, so that I have something better to compare it to, and then I will give you my final thoughts. Okay, so like I mentioned beforehand, Found Flicks is a channel that I've been watching for a long time. Does phenomenal in-depth reviews about movies. I do suggest that you guys go check out that channel because A, if you guys are big movie buffs like me, great channel to follow, and two, if you guys are ever stuck like me on a movie, it's a great channel to follow. Since this movie did not have subtitles, like I mentioned multiple times during the reaction, that was my fault. It was just the hand I was dealt. But I went and watched Found Flicks because I knew that I would get an in-depth review of the movie. Everything was cleared up for me and I was so much more enthralled by the story once I watched the Found Flicks review. I also went and educated myself on the actual ending from the older movie, and wow, what a fucking difference. I'm not one for happy endings in horror movies, so this new one, even though it was like a happier ending, it was more of a disturbing ending, you know? Something I did not know about this movie before going into it was that it's broken up into 6 acts plus an epilogue, which made it worlds easier for me to watch. Cinematography is, I can't do this enough to like show you how fucking phenomenal the cinematography is in this movie. I was erect. That is how good this movie is. I had a lady boner, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It was fucking phenomenal. The cinematography / filmography really mimics the like camera work of 1970s / 1980s horror films, and holy crap, they did an amazing job at executing it. Obviously, you can tell by my reaction 2 seconds ago. I was erect. Like I already touched on, it was so well casted. I had no complaints with the cast in this movie. Even the actors who were not well-known actors in this movie did such a great job. And Jessica Harper, who was Susie Bannion in the first Suspiria, made a very special cameo. I don't want to ruin it because that was like a twist that I wasn't expecting, and it touched my heart in a good and bad way. So if you guys haven't seen it, I'm not gonna ruin that for you. But it was also just the right amount of graphic. If you guys like horror movies that really are not gory, this is not going to be the one for you because there is a lot of actual guts in this movie. But there is not many actual graphic scenes until the end. But when you do see something graphic, it is very impactful. You feel it. I felt that poor girl's leg snap. I felt it with my entire soul. I still feel it. When I say impactful, I mean it really sticks with you after viewing it, as you can tell. This movie has a similar plot line to the original, but in the same token, it doesn't. Like I mentioned, Luca Guadagnino, I mixed up both the directors' names for a minute. He said that his movie, Suspiria of 2018, was a cover of Dario Argentino. I have such a bad... Don't tell me your name, because I'm just gonna fucking butcher it, okay? Luca Guadagnino said that his movie was a cover and not a remake of the original Suspiria, and former director... Not former, oh my god, he is the director of the old Suspiria, said that he butchered it. He just fucking butchered the old one. I liked the new one so much. I was so much more drawn into the new one than I was the old one. It took me 3 days to finish the old one, and that says something for me. Doesn't mean I didn't like it, because I loved it. It was just harder to get through. So let's talk about the strobe light effect at the end. Once the ritual room is opened to you guys to see, like all of us to see and Susie, you are presented with a very, like the screen is blood red for a long amount of time. There is like a strobe light effect and a lot of like this going on, and it's a lot to take in when you like may have sensitive eyes. Some of you may actually suffer with epilepsy, and for that I'm very sorry. But this movie did not come with a warning, you know, for people with epilepsy, and I think it's important because the end scene was, it probably would have induced a seizure, that's all I'm gonna say. Because of the strobe light effect and the red screen with the demon, that I'm trying not to like ruin this movie because I knew nothing about this movie when I went into it. So like you guys see a figure, a demon creature near the end, but like the whole scene to me just seemed cheesy with the strobe light effect, with the red screen, with everything going on. It was just seemed more low budget. And I understand that the camera work was supposed to be more of like 1970s, 1980s, whatever, but it just wasn't effective at that part. Doesn't mean I didn't like it, because I fucking loved it. What's that song? You ain't gotta like it cause the hood gon' love it. You ain't gotta like it cause... Is that a song? Yeah, I thought so. See? That's...
J-Rock.
What?
It's J-Rock.
Oh, really? I thought it was T.I.
Oh, J-Rock.
Okay, well, the more you know. The ending of the original ended on a happier note, whereas in the new one ended in more of a, like, somber, more of like a... everything ended in an it's fine, but it's all gonna happen again kind of note. Something I really want to touch on that I was super, super impressed by is Tilda Swinton played 3 characters. I don't want to ruin it for you because I didn't know the 3rd character she played. I will say she plays Madame Blanc, she plays the doctor, and the 3rd one I will not spoil because I didn't know until like 2 days after I watched the movie. And I was like, what the fuck? But I will say, seeing Tilda Swinton in a full man's, like, silicone body with a man's face and an actual man's penis, knowing that it was Tilda Swinton, like, she gets my Oscar vote, you guys. She fucking deserves an Oscar for that one. Damn. So the epilogue, I think that it was necessary, but it was kind of long. It did tie up a lot of loose ends in the movie. I had to hold back tears the whole time I was watching it. It was very sad to me. So, my final rating, instead of a 7.1 out of 10, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Oh my god, that is a first for me here on this channel. I thought this movie was phenomenal. This movie gets a 3 out of 3 cats for me. Holy F. I enjoyed it so much to the point that I literally am about to order it on Amazon so that I can watch it again with these subtitles and just really soak in how much I enjoyed that movie. This movie was beautiful. So many of the scenes were so captivating. Because it was split up into acts, like I mentioned, I felt it so much better to watch it that way because me, being a person who has the bladder of a fucking goldfish, has to pee a lot, my dudes. So, having these, like, this movie split up into scenes and acts really gave me a chance to get up and go to the bathroom. Not only that, but to really digest what I just watched and kind of think about, wow, damn, like, this is some shit. Like, it is a fantastic movie. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I really cannot stress it enough. I'm mad that I did not see this sooner. And that's my own fault. Like I said, it was cast amazingly, it was set perfectly, the coloring of this movie was beautiful. It was like the right amount of like abandoned Berlin that you would need for this movie. It was so good. So, like I mentioned, the Goblin soundtrack was not a part of this movie, but one thing I was very impressed to find out, like the day after I was doing my research, the soundtrack was done by THORN YORKE, who is the lead singer of Radiohead. Holy F, that made it so much more amazing when I think of the dance sequence when they're all in the red yarn or whatever they were wearing. There was no music and they were just, you could hear the grunts and the floor, like the feet on the floor and just the extension of their bodies and just all that noise. but it slowly built up into this amazing, like, progressive rock madness that I needed in my life that I didn't know I needed until I needed it, okay? I needed it. Wow, your Xbox sounds like it's gonna blow up. So all in all, this movie was everything I wanted in a movie. It was a little bit long. I do think it could have gone a fit like 15 minutes shorter than it actually was because some of the scenes were a little overpacked with information and with character, nothing wrong with character development, but you just kind of got to get the movie going, in my opinion. But even though it was a little bit boring here and there, it drew me in completely. And like I said, I did not watch this movie with any subtitles, but I had no problem with it. It was such an atmospheric movie that I was drawn in the whole time. Also, knowing like pretty basic French and some German, it was fine because I know like what some words mean. So like in the scene, it was hearing words that I know and like putting together what's going on in the scene made sense for me, and it ended up being like what I thought was going on, so it wasn't a problem for me. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it again. Anyways, amazing camera work, amazing music, amazing soundtrack, fucking beautiful movie altogether. 3 out of 3 cats. That was my opinion. You guys have your own opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Please don't come for me for mine. That is all from me for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I am ready to go think about what I'm going to watch for next week's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please. Please, sir. I want some more. I'll see you guys in my next video. Sayonara, suckers.